to just get 2 of the packages because I had several things in mind. I'm like, okay, well, one step at a time here. So we'll go with that.
Whatever you want to do, there's no rush.
Okay.
All right, so we should have some other folks signing on in just a minute or two. How is everything going with you?
We're good. It's now is our time when we travel to a lot of other places. So the summer's over when everybody was coming to us, and now we just got back from California, had a weekend event there. We have an alumni event this weekend, and then at the end of the month we head to Italy. We do 2 weekend camps over in Italy, so that's pretty neat.
Wow.
Fun. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Taking baseball abroad.
Beautiful. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, and I completely missed last week because I had the meeting with Laura at 11, and on my mind, I just the next day said, "I'll just tune in," and I went, "Oh, well, there's an email of the replay. It's done."
That's all right. Not a problem. That's why we record things. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the rest of your business. So
Okay.
Texas Baseball Ranch. Let's see here. Where does the bulk of your traffic come from?
It is organic.
Okay, so what are they searching for to find you?
It would be searching like pitching camp, baseball pitching camp, which we are prominent in.
Yep, you rank number 1 and number 2 for pitching camp.
Yeah. Now, if they just search without the word pitching, you don't find us. So that's a question as to, okay, how many people are searching that, obviously we don't want the hitters. We're not doing the hitting. We're not doing the defense. It doesn't matter, maybe, because there still might be some that in their mind, they don't necessarily think pitching. They're just going, oh, we're going to take them to a camp. So they do baseball camp. So I guess that's kind of where we go back and forth on how much time or energy should we spend on that.
Or money, because if you're not doing it, you're paying somebody else to do it.
Right.
And then what about social media? Like I see you have, like 5,600 fans on Facebook.
Right. And I think it's 7,000, something like that on the Twitter. We don't do much. And actually Facebook advertising might be a route we should start looking at doing, I think.
I think your engagement is low. I mean, you've got 5,000, almost 6,000 fans, and I see like 10 likes on a comment, 7 likes, 9 likes. So you're not, it's crickets, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, because really all we're doing on there is there's not much. It's just a little bit of activity each week. And even when we send out, so internally, and it does go onto social media as well. We do our weekly blogs and what have you. And, it's interesting. This weekend I was at California, and I had 3 different parents from there say to me, "We love everything you guys send out." Right. So that's a positive note on that. Now, the one thing that, and I don't know how it happens in other businesses, but the one thing in ours is some people will get very ugly on the social media.
That's
Just
why you've got to
slamming.
have somebody monitoring it, deleting those
Yeah.
comments, responding to those people, banning them if they have to.
Right. And so, but one of the things is Ron says he's not even going to get involved in those, like if somebody wants to say the Texas Baseball Ranch does such and such, part of the time that is they want to start a fight. He goes, we are not going to be involved in that
Right. You are
whatsoever.
taking the high road.
Absolutely. Because it has nothing. I mean, our success speaks for itself. So we're not going to get in the trenches and do that. So, it's been one of those things of like, okay, what do we post? What types of things? So I think even like what we're working on with the Doodle and that, I want to get that right. I think that's the next piece to be able to send out there and use.
I think you should have, I would be running I think Facebook should be huge for you. I would be running ads in front of, I'd be running ads in front of the parents because the parents are going to want to make the buying decisions. I would be running ads in front of the kids who are teenagers who are on social media who are playing baseball. I don't know if we can narrow down by pitcher only in terms of the targeting, but what we could do is we could target all the kids playing baseball, and then the ad campaign, like the copy and the pictures, would specifically reference pitching. So if you're a third baseman, you're not going to bother clicking.
Right.
And then let me see. I had another question. I don't see YouTube for you guys.
We have it, but do very little with it.
I would think that would be huge because I would imagine that, YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world. I'm guessing that there are tons of people kids searching for how-to videos.
Yeah, you'll see. I mean, you see significant numbers. That would be something, I guess the discussion with you would be, I guess it's the same old standard. Give them enough of just the teaser.
Yeah.
Because the one thing you are seeing is you're seeing people try to lay everything out, and again, that's not the boat we're gonna fall into. So it would be designing that enough to tease, give enough of the what, but not the how.
Right. Even testimonials from players.
Right. Okay.
Would be crush it because we get people to view it and go, oh man, I want to go up 15 miles an hour, or I want my arm to not hurt, or I want to consistently get to the strike zone. I would think those would be social media gold, and I'm sure you've got shoeboxes full of them somewhere.
Right, and one of the challenges I have in my own mind, and this isn't even, I don't even think I've said this to Ron at the same time, is that we run a membership. We have a monthly membership for people that can't be with us regularly, obviously, since we're national and international. Right. And so they get special content, like every week they get a training tip of the week, because people say, oh, you could put out a training tip of the week. I'm like, we could, but we're giving that as part of paid content. So then I'd need to figure out some other things on there to walk a fine line of what people are paying for versus what we put out to the entire public.
Right. I would.
So I think toy with that.
I think the easiest thing to start with would be just once a week, give us a testimonial video and let us market the heck out of it and build up your fan base and your engagement, and then turn that into sales.
Right. Okay. Right. I could see that.
And that's not overwhelming. It's one video. Worst case, you take an iPhone and video somebody saying, "Oh my God, that was awesome." Right. If you do, I'm sure you've probably got some, but even if you were starting from scratch, 3 minutes a week, and we're off to the races.
Yeah, and the big one, the mistake that I've made, and usually it's more of a rush issue by the time people leave. We get pages and pages of written. I just don't have video ones.
Well, we could start with the written ones.
Okay. I've got more than you can possibly. Yeah.
We could you could run that as an ad with the testimonial. The written testimonial is the copy of the ad, and then either we use a picture of the student or we just use a picture of a baseball or a pitcher or something.
Okay. And we do have their pictures with the coach. We take
perfect. So the picture and the text will work until we can get video.
Okay.
And then, you've got tons and tons of media exposure. Are you marketing that in any way?
Other than on the website, not really. It's inside. Okay. So the one piece we have a very good lead gen free DVD. I mean, it's very good. And then a multi-funnel, obviously multi-step funnel in that, but the DVD, I think it's 30 some minutes or whatever. And they're requesting that. And basically it's the boot camp that we're doing in the Doodle, but really long form. And in that it's highlighted very much in that. And then on the website, but not anything else really done specifically with it.
And then here is my other question. The copy on the DVD opt-in form is, we would like to ship you a free DVD all about the ranch. Have you tested that headline?
No.
Okay, I would test it.
Okay.
I would split test and say, okay, and do you guys have analytics or Google Analytics on your site?
We do.
Okay, so I would split test, okay, if we got 1,000 people to the site this month, how many took the DVD? Change the headline, send another 1,000. What was the increase? Because I'd be willing to bet you that because that that is all about, from a copywriting perspective, Dan would say, we would like to ship you a free DVD all about the ranch. That's about you guys. It's not about them. I would bet you if we change the headline to be about them, you'd see a significant increase.
Okay. I just had asked my gal the other day, because we're not tracking how many. I obviously know how many requested because we get those numbers, but I don't know specifically how many are landing. There's something she called that sheet. It's not its own page. So we're going to try to get she's putting some kind of plugin in to where I can see how many people are even showing up.
Right, because you should track how many people hit the page versus how many people fill out the form. You should be retargeting the people who don't fill out the form. And I would test changing the headline. I'd test a couple different headlines, and then I would test a video on the opt-in form. A video that quote unquote sells them on why they should get the free DVD.
Okay. You just said something that is one of the things that I want to do that we are not doing, and every time I ask the question, I've yet to get to the right people to do it. Retargeting, we are doing 0.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that
we're the right people
for me. Yeah. Okay.
What platform is your website built on? Is this WordPress? Is this HTML?
Oh Lord, Seth, this is a story you don't want me to go into. And I'm not good at this, but it was done about 3 years ago by a company out of England, and it was through round and backwards a person that spoke at GKIC.
Is that Ali Binson or somebody?
No.
Okay, sorry. He's the English guy I know from GKIC.
Yeah. No, but see, he's not in GKIC specific. It was a speaker on the stage. It was
it was an outside person.
It was a woman. I went to her first and she goes, "Oh, you need to talk to so-and-so." And they did a really good job, but
it's a beautiful website. I'm just wondering what platform it's on.
The thing is it's my web gal now says it's so hard to make changes because of the way that it was designed. She still does a good job, and I'll find that out and tell you. I think it's because it's not even just a simple WordPress. It's not simple. It is like some IT guy built it, but I will find out what she considers the platform because.
Yeah, because at the moment, all the pages I can see is on the consumer-facing side. It looks like there's like 11 pages, which if we had to rebuild for you from scratch in WordPress, wouldn't be that hard.
Okay. And she has said we could. She just didn't know how badly we wanted to do that again after.
Well, if you tell me what platform it's built on, then we can tell you in terms of, okay, how do we start retargeting right away?
Okay.
I'd love to see the Google Analytics numbers.
Okay.
And then we can talk about if this site, if you keep it the way it is, or if you need a new one.
Okay. Okay.
Depending on what you want to do.
And if we do a new one, can we keep, in essence, a similar look?
Yeah. So for example, here, let me grab another site. The reason why I asked if it was WordPress, because it looks similar to, a little bit similar to a theme that we build on, that we customize. So here, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so obviously you've got the baseball picture versus our picture. You've got we put an opt-in form front and center. You did the choose your path below. Then we've got also the different places they go, different things they can do. So, I mean, I bet you if we customize something like this, you could get this a similar look and feel, all the same content. And I mean, the way we build our sites in WordPress and the way we customize the themes is, I mean, you can literally make change. I've literally changed a site on my iPhone walking through an airport on the way to a Kennedy conference.
Right. Well, like I know, because I work on some of the posting for like the blog that goes through a WordPress. So I don't know if that means everything in it is, but I will, yeah, because and then the membership site that it hooks off to, I believe, is as well.
Do you know what plugin or what software you're using to run the membership site?
Yes, we've gone through this because we're contemplating changing that. That actually we're more likely to change even than the
site itself.
What's
the software?
It's not Memberium. It's not what i3. I don't know. I'll find that out for you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the average? I know it varies, but what's the average student worth to you?
Initially about $2,000, and then because that's a boot camp.
And then what's the membership site cost?
$159 a month for the basic level.
Okay, so you've got a decent transaction value.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're spending to acquire a customer now?
No, but it's very little. I mean,
because you're getting it all from organic, and it's not predictable. It's not scalable.
Well, and now, and in all fairness, and that is true. Yeah, absolutely. But in all fairness, we are spending because by the time we mail out 3 or 4 packages for the boot camp, but I'm probably in at $100 a kid or less for who shows up on our doorstep. And the numbers, we look at, Ron and I have this conversation all the time. It always goes back to generating the leads, because we'll get probably of those people that request it, we've been about 10% that will show up for an event.
So if you ship out 10 DVDs, you close one of them.
I'm getting one of them to come in, right?
What else goes in the box with the DVD, and what follow-up goes after it?
The first one's got a sales letter. It's got a couple magalogs based off of the articles we've been written in, and then the second one, it's got a interview that Ron had done with a youth podcaster, a baseball podcaster. So it's got that whole interview along with the written transcript, and then another magalog.
What about doing why don't you guys do a baseball podcast and interview pros?
We did a podcast for a long time, and it was more of just a time constraint of continued. Actually, if you go on the website, you can see all the archived ones. Now, that was just Ron and I. And occasionally we would.
Oh no, you should be interviewing other people.
Yeah, and it's more time than anything else of where we choose to want to do it. Yep.
Because we have a client who's national on the financial services investment side, and he's a baseball guy, so it's the Grand Slam retirement show type of thing. So when we were able to get him a couple professional athletes to be on the show, like, he's over the moon because he's like interviewing heroes. So
right.
But in your different, so it's not going to make him any more money to interview them. It might be cool. He might get one of them to invest with him, but yours is different, because if you interview somebody who's playing now or who's a household name, and Nolan Ryan comes on the show and says X, Y, and Z, and then posts and tweets that he was on the show, all of a sudden that makes you money, because then he's exposing all these people, and you can promote that he said that, and then it turns into actual customers.
Right. So you're not talking about a weekly thing. You're talking about a once or twice that you've got these guys on interviews.
We're getting the best results for shows that air once a week, but our shows are 30 minutes. Right. So, like, I do stuff where Kevin Harrington is my co-host, and we'll take 2 hours, record four interview shows back to back to back to back, and be done for the month.
Right. I will throw it out there. I'm not sure that it will.
It's not the first place I would start.
Yeah.
it's maybe 5th or 6th or 7th on the list,
Agreed.
but it
Agreed.
could certainly be another way into the funnel.
Right. Right.
I
Okay.
think checking out the analytics numbers and adding video and social media and targeted traffic are way more important.
Agreed. Okay. All right.
So yeah, if you want to get me some of that, find out what the website's built on, what membership platform you're running on, and if you want to let me take a look at the Google Analytics, we could probably tell you a whole heck of a lot about where your website is and isn't working.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I just think we're still, I mean, and things have, I mean, the business is doing exceptionally well. I just think we're still barely scratching the surface. I mean,
right. The fact that you're not doing that's all organic and there's no paid marketing where you say, okay, it cost me $14.72 on this media, and I've got a spreadsheet tracking all the different places we're doing this and the different ads and the different offers, and here's what our numbers are, and here's our ROI, and here's what we need to do more of. I mean, Jen would yell at you for that.
I know the only paid advertising that we do is some in for the coaches. There's a baseball magazine that will occasionally run an ad in there. The national convention will run some ads in there, things, and that's a different market and a different kind of a different vein off of that. But for our big things, there's not. I mean, there's so much we can be doing. So
awesome.
And I know that's what you do. So
it is.
I think, yeah. Great. All right. So my notes are platform for the website, the membership, the analytics. I think that's where we need to start.
That's the first three. Yep.
Let's
go from there. Okay. Well, you're the winner because you're the one who showed up for office hours today. So I will see you again next week, and we'll see if we have a lot more, and we'll see who shows up next week.
Thanks, Seth. Appreciate it.
Thank you.